So the pockets. I'm not sure what we're going to do with the bottom pocket yet, but let's focus on the top pocket. We'll make two different pockets on here. We have to put the number 5 chains or coil zipper in here, top and bottom. But what I want to do is I think I want like a 5-inch pocket that's going to go all the way across this thing. It'll be just a flat pocket that you can put stuff in. Down here I think we'll probably make some sort of a pouch pocket, but don't know yet. I need to move this out of the way, and keep in mind we've got to make this stuff so that there is no raw edges, so you don't have a bunch of threads on the inside, especially when you're using Sunbrella. Now if you're using a vinyl or something like that, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. First thing we need to do is, this is about 13 inches, so we need to cut a chunk off about 14 inches just so it's big enough. And we need 2 pieces. We need to have if we're going to make that approximately 5 inches, we need to make a 4.5 inch strip. And then we need a 3.5 inch strip. And now we're going to use our hot knife to cut these out. Now if you don't have a hot knife and you're using Sunbrella or a frayed fabric, I mean the old reliable is a lighter, right? Just seize the seams so that they don't fray on you. Okay, so with our 2 pieces, we need to also measure up. Let me put this out of the way for now. We need to measure up 1 inch on the 3-inch piece. And we need to measure up 1 inch on the bottom piece. If you could ever find a ruler that's 1 inch wide, keep it forever. They don't exist. This one's like 1 inch and 1/8, and it drives me nuts that I can't just use it for 1 inch marks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to fold it to that 1 inch line. So, and I'm going to base this stuff just to make it a little easier on myself. And that's why I don't like to baste. Then I'm going to base the top again, or base right on that folded line, that seized line. Now I'm going to take some coil zipper. You can cut it just a little bit bigger than you actually need. And remember now, again, the coil zipper is directional. The chain zipper is not. So, and this flap is going to go, I know it's upside down to you right there, but this flap's going to stick out. So we need the teeth to be up so that the teeth are exposed, which means we base this upside down on this piece. All right, so then Now you're putting this piece of tape on the opposite side of where the 1 inch mark is. See, what we're going to do is we're going to fold this over and stitch it onto here. So that's why we want the seized edge. Same at the bottom. We're going to fold that over and stitch it onto the backpack itself. So you leave the 1 inch at the top and the bottom of this pocket. Okay, let's go to the machine. Now you take this bottom piece, this one's done. We're going to leave that like it is. But this piece, you need to fold this over and put a top stitch in it. And I just set all that, redo. I've got this zipper upside down. Yep, sure enough do. Okay, well, live and learn. So I need to cut this out and flip this zipper over. All right, redo. So I just flipped that thing over the right way. Now we're gonna stitch it down. Now we'll come back. Now the teeth are up or out, however you want to look at it. All right, so take our slider and assemble this. And what you want to do is you want to completely shut the zipper, then come back and open it up again and put the slide back on it. That way you close both of the ends. And then just leave the slider in the center of it, but both of the ends of the zipper are now closed. All right, so now you know what, and I also put that, I'm going to draw this 1 inch mark again down here at the bottom. I put it on the wrong side. This is what happens when you're doing it. You know, if you're following this step by step, I'd advise you to watch each step first and then go back when I make these little mistakes. So now we're going to come and we're going to put some basting tape on the 1 inch line at the bottom. And baste that together. So you're just giving yourself a little hem with a seized edge on it. And then up here at the top, we can use the edge of the zipper. Another piece of tape on there. And baste that down. All right, let's see what happens here. So that came out to be about 5 3/16, or 5 1/4. Yeah, so it's not going to be exact. So, but anyways, it's close enough. Let me move that out of the way. Figure out what we want to do here. I like it about right there. So let's draw. Draw a bit of a line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to baste So typically I wouldn't, not typically, I usually will base stuff like this down because you want to prevent puckering or wrinkling, right? So you want to get it laying as flat as you can. Now let's center that up. Base the top side down on. Now I'm going to push it out and I'm going to base the bottom side down. All right, now let's go to the machine and we can sew the top and bottom of this. All right, now that I've got both of those on there, if you just flip it over, you can come through here and cut this out. And it's exactly right. So, pocket done. Now the next step is to fit. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Let me figure this out and we'll come back and do it. All right, now let's make a pouch type pocket. Let's make one. That thing's going to be about 12 inches when it's finished. So let's make it 10 inches wide, and I'm going to call it, let's go somewhere between 6 to 7 inches. Because then I also want to put 1 or maybe 2 pieces of webbing across there with some little loops in it, just for some character, you can hold things in it. So let's say 6 to 7 inches by 10 inches. So let me move that out of the way and get this plate. So let's start off by cutting a seized edge on one side of this. Now let's make 10-inch let's go 11 inches seam allowance, right? Sorry about that. Let's go 11 inches. And then we need 2 strips, 11 inches wide by, I want to make the pouch stick out about 2 inches. So let's go 2.5 inches, and we need 2 of those. So it's 5, 2.5 inches. Let's cut those out. All right, so now check this out. Let's take these guys up. Excuse me. All right, sorry about that. Little interruption. So put these together, and then let me line that up better. All right, so if you take all 4 of these, or all 4 corners, and strap them or put them together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a radius. but I'm going to cut them all at the same time. That way they all match. So it doesn't really matter what the radius is. Let me get my hot knife good and hot because it's 4 layers. Good enough. So now, so we've got, now this will be the bottom and this will be the top. Actually, that's going to be a pretty big, it's going to be 1/2 inch smaller. That'll work. That'll work. So now let's do the same thing as we did basically up at the top up here. If we take, this piece of, and you walk this guy out, about right there is going to be enough. Let me get my pencil. Actually, we can make it just a touch bigger. But what we need to do is have another seized edge at the bottom. And then we need, if we said we're going to make that thing 7 inches, we need a, let's go with 6 inches. And another 2.5 inches. Nope. Let's make a flap bigger. Let's go 3 inches. And then cut this out. So let's do the same thing again with our 1 inch. Where's that? So the flap again. Okay, so let's go to the sewing machine. We'll sew both these zippers down. We're going to take this one and top stitch it again.